Hi guys, and welcome to this course on Travis picking. Now this is a really cool technique that's going to mean we're putting the plectrum down and we're using the right hand to start creating sounds like this. Or something along those lines anyway, right? Now, it's a really cool technique, and Travis picking, the kind of name comes from a guy called Merle Travis, who was just like a country and western dude, who was an awesome guitar player, and he kind of pioneered this technique, and it's kind of stuck. And it's a very specific fingerstyle technique because it's a technique where your thumb rotates on the kind of first and third beat. So we'll go through that in a minute, exactly how that works, but basically, different to normal fingerstyle where I guess you just pretty much do anything really. Your fingers can be anywhere and can do anything. There's loads of different styles. This one's quite specific, just simply in that the thumb is continuously moving across bass notes and different notes on the strings. So we'll go through it properly, but essentially all we're going to do today is we're going to start a 4-step pattern which is going to sound like this. So this is going to be the very kind of bedrock of everything we're going to do and everything we're going to build from. Now, it might sound simple, it might seem simple, but for you guys that have never really done any fingerstyle, this is going to be really tricky. So it's going to be something you need to spend a lot of time with. Now, let's go through it, shall we? First of all, just so for your reference, I've got a G major chord on with my left hand, okay? Played like that. And when we're looking at the right hand, first of all, we need to put our hand in place, okay? So I like to lean my little finger against the kind of body of the guitar down here. Now that's totally up to you, whatever you guys prefer to do. But the little finger, you're not really going to be using in Travis picking. So that's why I just use it as a little anchor just to help me stay in place. Doesn't matter if you don't, but I like that, so it's up to you if you want to do that as well. Now, basically, we're going to be working with the thumb, the first finger, and the second finger. So for this particular pattern, what I want you to do is just put your thumb on the low E string for now, and then put your first finger on the B string, and your second finger on the high E string. Okay, so that's how you're spreading the fingers at the moment. Okay, and generally with Travis picking, you pick these two strings to start with, okay? So these two fingers will pretty much always remain together, whether they're doing these two strings or potentially even these two strings, they're gonna stay together like that, and the thumb is gonna pretty much cover everything else, okay? So here's our pattern. Try and follow me on this. So I'm gonna start by plucking the thumb, okay? That's my first beat. Then I'm gonna pluck with my second finger the high E string. So I go low E string, high E string. Okay. Then on my third hit, my thumb is going to grab the G string open. Okay. And then on my fourth hit, my first finger is going to grab the B string. Okay. So you've got 4 hits there. You've got thumb, second finger, thumb now on the G string, and then first finger. So what I'm going to do is just repetitively go round and round that so you can start seeing how my fingers work, okay? And this is what you guys need to practice. So it goes like this. Make sure you're doing exactly these fingers and thumb on each string, okay? Don't start trying to mix it up. Because it might feel easier to want to kind of grab that one with that finger, but make sure it's the thumb. Speed it up a little bit. Okay, so there's your first thing I want you to practice. Now, in terms of the count, this is half a bar. 1 and 2 and. Okay, so to make it a whole bar, I just repeat it twice. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now a couple of little tips that I've noticed through teaching this across the years is one, people tend to hit it too hard, so are a bit too aggressive. and snap away from the strings like that. Now, you want a nice light touch here, okay? So really, the lighter the better to start with. Just nice, and you're kind of feathering these strings, okay? When you're playing this style of Travis picking, certainly at the start, we don't want anything too aggressive, okay? So nice and soft. Now also, the other thing is, notice how my fingers are slightly curved like that. See these two? They're like that, not straight like that. So I'm not doing them straight. That's another thing that I've seen across the years. And that's obviously going to make it very hard for you to get a nice feel for this. So you need to have them nice and curved like that, so that you just kind of pluck it a little like that when it comes away. The finger just comes back towards there. It doesn't go away like that or anything, okay? So just try and basically copy how my hand looks for yours as well. So your first task, guys, is just simply to go away and just go round and round and round this until it starts to settle in, okay? Around it as many times as you need. If you're bored of holding this chord down, hold another chord down. Try and do one that's an E string chord, so a root note on the E string, for example, E major, and do the same thing. So what I'm saying is don't go to a chord that starts on the A string for now. We're just practicing it from the E string, okay? So don't go to the C, or don't go to the D, or C add 9, or whatever. Stick to the G, or the E, or the E minor, or the G sus2, or the G sus4, whatever you've got, try and stick to those chords. So, there's your first 4-step Travis picking pattern, that's quite a mouthful, to practice. Get that together, and we'll advance that next time.